What's up, everybody? It's me, Carlos, again, and welcome back to Just Ask Carlos. Today, since it's so cold out, I decided I'm going to try something. Now, I spoke with somebody at Circle, and they told me that you should keep your sips somewhere in an environment where it's between 35 and 90 degrees. Otherwise, it's not recommended to drink. I want to see what happens if it goes below 35. In this instance, I'm going to freeze the sip. I don't know if it can freeze. Maybe like alcohol, it doesn't freeze. But since it's water-based, it should freeze. And then maybe in a future video, I'll try storing it somewhere like in a glove box, because somebody did mention that in my post. They keep it in the glove box in case, they run out and they have it. So that way they can have a sip at work. So I'm going to take a sip that I love, watermelon. Not my number one favorite, but top 5. And I'm going to take this watermelon and I'm going to put it in the freezer. Now, I don't recommend doing this, especially since I don't know the outcome. Also, I don't recommend doing this because Circle said don't do it. But I'm going to do it so that way you don't have to, and you know exactly what happens in case you do leave it in your car overnight and you live somewhere where there's sub-zero climates or maybe just below freezing. So here we go. Don't judge me. This is my freezer. Got a bunch of stuff in here. There we go. It's in the freezer. I don't know why you expected me to do something fancier. That's pretty much it. Put it in the freezer. So I'm going to come back tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't explode. That's my first concern, is that it'll explode. Do you think it'll explode? Comment now. And while you're here, make sure you like and subscribe. So hit that like button wherever it shows up down there, and the subscribe button wherever it shows up. But let's come back and let's see tomorrow what it looks like. For the sake of our food, I'm going to put this in our downstairs freezer because I don't want this to mess up all the food that's in our fridge in case something bad does happen. Walk with me. So, in our freezer, tons of meat, tons of stuff. I'm going to throw it on the door. There it is. We'll come back. And just like that, we're back. We're going to go back downstairs. We're going to look at the sip that we put in the freezer. Open it up. First, we're going to see if it's frozen. And if it is frozen solid, I'm going to wait maybe an hour or two, let it thaw out. The goal here is it drinkable? Potable? Is it any good? Next, I'm going to cut it open so I can see what's inside. A couple of things we're going to do. Let's go downstairs, let's grab it out of the freezer, and your guess is as good as mine. In the meantime, like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. I'm going to go grab that sip. There it is. Definitely cold. Let's take it upstairs and see what happened. Didn't explode, so that's good. Doesn't feel like it exploded. All right, let's go. Okay, so we've got Life Sip watermelon, fresh out of the freezer, nice and cold. Let's open this up. See if anything exploded on the inside. Nope. Still. Thought maybe it felt liquid. Don't do this at home, kids. Ooh, that's cool. It's like a slushie. But I will tell you that the bag, ooh, that's cold. Can you see the kind of the frost on it? What I'm going to do, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, let some of the air out. I'm going to put this on 10 wide open. That way I can get some of the air out. Here comes the air. It's like a slushie. I can feel it. It's like crunchy. Well, now it's kind of like a gel. Let's see if I can drink this. Be right back. Let me take this off. It's probably better with it on. Anyway, so this is my regular sip. Still plenty of flavor in that. And you can hear the ice kind of moving around. We're going to put this back in here. It's weird. I'm going to put it back in the cage because it's not behaving the way that it should. I feel like it's expanded, and that's the problem. The cage kind of assures that it's going to fit in there with the flow filter. Okay, now that that's out of the way, lock that in. I'm going to put it on 5 first. I don't know what to expect, but he's not supposed to do this. It tastes fine. Oh, and then it's gone. Yeah, that was just, I think, what I squeezed out. So there's no flavor. Probably because it's frozen. Now, even though I can move it around, it feels like a jelly instead of a liquid. And I think that's the problem. Wow. You see the frost that built up when I put the sleeve back on? That's kind of cool. Just literally frost that created itself. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this open. Kind of cool. For whatever reason, it formed ice around it, I guess from going inside of the water. Cool. I'm gonna cut this open and then we're gonna see what's inside. So for this, we're gonna use this clear bowl. I'm gonna cut this open. See if I can't get some of the liquid out of it first. Oh yeah, there's definitely some liquid. Now it's kind of just dripping out. Let's cut it open so we can see if it froze or what happened. So inside of the sip, there was kind of a little blockage there, but there's nothing there. It's pretty much all liquid. Doesn't smell really bad. It smells kind of fruity. That's it. That doesn't seem right. So it is clear. It smells perfectly fine. It's as if nothing was ever done. Honestly, I expected a different outcome. I was thinking it was going to freeze. It was going to turn into kind of like a slushy, because it is concentrate. And that's the whole reason why this little bit of fluid lasts you through 8 fill-ups. You know, I didn't drink anything out of it. I opened it fresh after it went in the freezer, but it didn't freeze. It didn't freeze. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but either way. So this test, even though they tell you between 35 and 90 degrees is the optimal temperature for the sips, if you do decide to freeze your bottle overnight, or if you throw your sips in the freezer, it didn't affect anything. Now, obviously, when I first tried to drink it, it would not let me pull the fluid through it, but I was able to get water through it. So I'm not sure if maybe when I first took it out of the freezer, that little bit of frost that built up got stuck inside of that valve, but it cleared away pretty quickly. And as you can see, when I cut it open, it was all liquid. There was no ice. There was no slush. It felt like slush on the inside, and I think that was just kind of drawn to the foil packet on the inside. What I was feeling, it wasn't actually like a gel. It was just a little bit of frost on the inside and the water that was kind of mixing together. And that's why when I cut the seal and poured that out, it was just fluid. To summarize, Circle says between 35 degrees and 90. If you happen to freeze your sip, let it thaw a little bit. You can take this cage off and you can kind of squeeze the pouch to kind of get some of that freed up. So one more bonus point for Circle. Awesome. I don't have to worry about if I freeze a sip. It's going to taste horrible. Everything smells the same. Why not? Woo! That watermelon tastes good. It doesn't taste watered down. It doesn't taste like the sugar separated from it. It just tastes like the sip does normally. There you go. I'll see if I can come up with something else. Maybe I'll boil one. Maybe I'll put it in the glove box on a hot day, since we are coming up on spring soon. Let me know down in the comments if you have an idea for me to try out. I'd be more than happy to give it a shot and see what the outcome is. But if you thought something different was going to happen, put that down in the comments as well. Honestly, I thought it was going to freeze, it was going to turn into a slushie, and then it wasn't going to be usable. And then I thought on top of that, after it thawed out and it turned back to liquid, that it wouldn't be really very drinkable. I had a feeling like it was going to separate. It was going to be like watery or overly strong. So it just tastes like the sip. So thank you all so much for checking it out. Much for checking out my channel, watching this video. Just Ask Carlos. I'm Carlos, and I'll definitely see you all on the next one.